What's up, everybody? Welcome back.
pdExes.
Episode 15.
I hope so.
Dang. It's
That's
pretty
a lot.
cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
I had my person at my dentist office said she listened to us. Hello.
Oh, really? Hi,
Yeah, she said it was
dental
great.
assistant.
Yeah.
Hi.
No, it's just really cool. I don't think we thought people were going to give a fuck.
Oh,
you know?
no. Yeah, no,
Like,
for sure.
And it's just cool that people
Yes.
check it out, want to listen, and then you're getting some funny stuff out of it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'll talk about somebody eating ice cream out of my asshole.
Yeah. Or me sucking dick or almost getting murdered. At work, we ask connection questions to get to know each other. And someone asked me what my worst dating story was, and I was like, "Let me refer you to episode 4 of my podcast."
Yeah, you guys got an hour. You guys got an hour.
I was
You know what I
allegedly
mean?
almost
who
killed.
knows?
You dumb motherfucker! If you're listening to this, then I really feel like I've made it at that point. What? I mean,
Wouldn't that be great if he just randomly heard about it and then started listening to it and he was like, "Oh, that sounds like that bitch I almost killed."
Yes. Well, I mean, there have been instances of that on My Favorite Murder where someone writes in something. Oh, the best one. Oh my God. The best one. My favorite murder was there was a girl and she was really young and she was getting done. I want to say with the closing shift at a Dunkin' Donuts. And she was walking home and this guy pulls up, takes her to a different location, and she is blindfolded. And so she's just trying to feel the road. And so she's like, all right, it feels like I know we got on a highway and then we were on the highway for a really long time. And then we got off and then all of a sudden the road got gravel. And so she's trying to keep this mental tally.
Right.
You know, he kidnaps her. He does all the unspeakable things that you would think when that happens.
Yeah.
She has to go to the bathroom. He's won't let her close the door.
Yeah.
And she's like, please, I have trauma. I can't pee if the door's open. And so he lets her close the door and she's in there and she's fucking touching everything, grabbing stuff. So that way, if anything were to happen, her fingerprints were all over everything. And she ends up convincing this guy to take her home. And he takes her home and she leaves. And that's not even the fucking worst part, bitch. She gets home, she runs home, and her fucking grandma's boyfriend beat the shit out of her because she was gone for 2 days. And so she had missed her curfew. So she was like, hey, I got kidnapped. They're like, you lie. Psh. Mm-hmm. And then finally the grandma got sick of it, called the cops. And Karen tells this story and it's fucking ridiculous because she goes, when the cops came, the little girl goes, get a piece of pen and paper, motherfuckers. I got some info for you. Because on the way back, she was peeking through the blindfold so she could see the hotel where she got dropped off at. She takes him right back to that motherfucker's house and they arrest him, put her in jail, and then she ends up growing up and becomes a fucking sheriff.
Dang. They put the dude in jail?
Mm-hmm. Dang. And the reason why I bring that up was because someone got pulled over by her or something happened. Her tire was flat.
Right.
And then this, woman, the sheriff now comes up and pulls over to help these people with their tire. And they're like, we were just at a My Favorite Murder live episode where we talked about you. And so it was this interweb where she ends up getting to meet a bunch of murderinos and
she's like, here's your fucking ticket. Fuck you.
No, she helped them with their tires. She was a nice soul. She was nice. Yeah, she told it was a good thing. And so then, it was really cool.
I'll just do that every time I get pulled over. Be like, were you on My Favorite Murder?
Yeah, they just did an episode about you.
Man, how great would that be to be get pulled over by a cop?
I just want Karen and Georgia to listen to this podcast. I would just.
They need to because we talk about all the fun things.
I must refer you to episode 4.
Episode 3 is the choking.
I thought it was episode 4.
No, bitch.
Oh, no.
Is it?
4 was Donut.
No, I think 4.
We must figure this out.
4 is the traditional Leo.
There's just so many episodes. So scroll back. Hold on.
We might keep
it is episode 3. Okay. Well, I mean, if Karen and Georgia, if you're out there, I must refer you to episode 3. It's very on brand.
I feel like that's the best. We have a lot of good episodes, but I feel like that one is probably the best, episode all around.
It's the most suspenseful.
Because we were driving somewhere. We were in California driving, and it stopped, because we didn't have any connection or whatever. And Greg was just like, and then we eventually got the cellular connection where you were able to listen. But it was right at the end, right where he pulled off.
The juicy part, yeah.
He was just like, oh my God. Which is cool. I mean, it sucks that you had to go through that. That's not cool, but I like that we're able to have a suspenseful moment here and there.
Yeah, and then a lot of moments of us talking about butt stuff.
And food, because why not?
It's true, why not?
Man, it is so hot in Portland right now.
Yeah.
Future Ryan and Alexa, or anybody listening to this in December where it's cold,
Sweatery.
snowy,
Yeah, when it's sweatery out.
just know that you're so blessed.
Summer is fucking sweaty, okay?
Yeah.
All these motherfuckers coming to work and they're like, I want my summer. Where's my bitch? Here's your fucking summer. My titties are sweaty.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable. My fake tan is probably going to be fucked up because it's hot outside.
Also, it should be illegal and a crime against humanity to make people wear pants in the summer. For real. Listen, I've had jobs where you had to wear pants.
Oh yeah, like in restaurants, I used to have to wear a long sleeve collared shirt,
Oh my God.
button up collared shirt, long sleeve that we could only cuff twice,
This idea
tie, long pants, and a long bistro apron.
just makes me
and
so
an open air
like,
patio.
That makes me just disgusted.
I should have written an expense report for my fucking Gatorades and Powerades that I had to buy when I worked on that patio. It was so fucking inhumane.
There's this idea that you have to look professional. I'm over this shit.
I just want my server to not look sweaty. Whatever makes you comfortable.
I mean, I get like a long shirt, but I don't know. If they have to be outside in pants, fuck you. Unless it's a safety thing. But
Sorry, if you see me on the podcast live stream, I'm actually moving my legs because I'm so sweaty.
Yeah.
Thick thighs, baby.
Thick thighs tell lies.
Never. Thick thighs save lives, motherfucker.
That sounds like a tongue twister.
Thick thighs
Oh, but
save
this
lives.
butt is a tongue twister too.
There are so many people who love you for all the stupid things that you say. So you say stuff, and I'm like, well, check the box for that friend that loves Ryan.
I know. Well, I mean, this is just how my mind works. My dad did tell me one time, he was like, I would love to see how you see the world. And I didn't realize what he was saying in the moment. I was like, everybody's got to see it like how I see it.
Well, I was going to say that's not a dig for being gay.
I mean, I guess, I don't know. But I just didn't think, yeah. No, because I said something really funny.
Yes.
And then he was just like,
I'm
I just
sure.
don't. He's like, I just don't get it. So when we were growing up, I used to say vagina a lot when we were having dinner.
Yep.
I don't know why. I just thought it was really funny.
It was one of those words you weren't supposed to say. It's a taboo word,
And so our mom passed away 12 years ago. Ugh, yikes.
In September.
But before she died, she was like, can you promise me that you won't say the word vagina
Ever again?
No, she said during our service.
Okay.
She goes, during my service, whatever you guys have, can you promise me you're not going to say the word vagina? And I was like, ugh, because I totally was. And then I thought it would have been really funny to actually tell people that. So I got up and I said a bunch of funny stuff. And I thought it'd been really funny to go, okay, everybody, I just also wanted to share that my mom didn't want me to say the word vagina tonight. I just want to respect her wishes. Just so I could say it, which would be really funny. But then also I promised her that I wouldn't say it.
Right.
And so I actually didn't say it.
God bless. You could have said coochie.
No,
you could have said hoo-ha.
I mean, I just thought that was really funny that mom
of
knew that I was going to say it. And she basically was like, don't say it, bitch. And I was like, all right.
She took your V card. Damn, my mom fighting today. I'm almost as hot as it is outside right now, bitch.
Kind of gross. I'm not wearing a hat. This is the first time. I've been trying not to wear hats a lot lately. Also because it's summer. I am boiling today.
Whoa, I heard. And by heard, I mean read somewhere on social media.
Yeah, I saw on TikTok.
Basically. I haven't been doing TikTok much recently. However, I saw that wearing a hat will actually increase a receding hairline.
Oh.
So because it's putting so much pressure.
Oh, no. My hairline.
I know your hair looks great. Your hair looks great.
At my work, I wear a hat all the time. Just got a lot of bright lights.
Correct. Fluorescent lights are shitty.
And I just got in the habit of wearing a hat to just kind of block lights out. And I remember one time I had picked my hat up, which I did last week. I picked my hat up. But this one security guard was like, I thought you were bald. And I was like, what? She goes, I've never seen you without a hat. I just assumed you were bald.
Yes.
And I'm like, why would you assume baldness for a hat wearer? You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of,
it's a good
I would say you need to be more optimist for the hair. You know what I mean? Also, if you're bald, if I go bald, whatever. I mean, everybody's got to deal with it.
Right. But you could maybe they meant
They
you know.
legit thought I was bald because
Like
I wore a hat all the
balding,
time.
or like
Bald.
you personally
had no
shaved
hair.
all
Like,
your hair?
Yeah, just no, like fucking bald. So I thought that was really funny. I was like, okay.
That's funny.
Also a funny thing to tell somebody too.
I've also, so at my work, a lot of girls have been wearing like ball caps, and like, man, there's girls look hot with a ball cap. Like there's just something very sleek about like a ball cap, whether the hair is down. Because here's the thing, okay? Everyone thinks you wear a hat when your hair is gross, correct? Because remember, we touched on dry shampoo a little bit. Right. But there's a girl's hair wash is a very important cycle. Because there have been a few days, I always wear my hair up on the podcast. It's just easy. I don't want to fuck. Yeah. I don't want to fuck with my hair. I don't want to be distracted by it. I just put my hair up in a ponytail. There are some days I sacrifice it and I wash my hair and I just throw my hair up into a ponytail right before we film, just because I don't want to be messing with, anything or being distracted. And a bitch love a lip gloss. So I'd rather put my hair up and wear lip gloss than have hair in my lip gloss.
I feel like I got a glossy skin today, man. I got all this,
the dewy look.
sweaty.
The dewy is very in right now.
I feel like it's just a lot of pressure. Like Greg had a slightly sweaty shirt today and he was like, I can't go into Nordstrom's. I was like, dude,
Sweat is normal.
Everyone looks a goddamn mess right now.
Okay,
like no one's going to look at you and go like, oh, trash.
I don't really sweat very much.
Out.
I don't really sweat very much. And I'm not saying that as a brag. I mean, it's a little bit of a brag. Yeah. But I mean, I would do really, really long-winded, like hour CrossFit workouts and I barely sweat at all.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I was talking about this the other day and it just means that I guess you have a good cooling system.
Great. So for me, it's like when I would do these workouts, people would be like, oh, you're not really sweating. And I just never would. So like for college volleyball.
You're like, feel this pulse, bitch.
Yeah,
feel my pulse.
My heart is pumping.
Check my Apple Watch.
I didn't have one then, but it would have been great.
Yeah. I remember one time we were swimming and they had us do our pulse and we had a shitty freshman year like swim coach. He was horrible. And I remember he had everyone do our pulse. It was like first or second day of practice. And we were all just honest. And we were like 85 or like 90. And he was like, it should be 120. He like read everybody. And we were like, oh, fuck. So of course you're doing it. And you're like, I'm just going to add on 20 more. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's very hot today. I am just... It's humid too. We lived in Oklahoma. We lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma for a couple of years. And oh my God,
it was gross.
Like wet. I mean, if you're from the Midwest or Florida, I guess wherever, not West Coast.
Here in
so
Pacific
bad.
Northwest, we have really shitty allergies. It rains a lot, but we have, for the most part, mild summers. What?
I did an allergy test. I'm allergic to Timothy grass.
Is that
Timothy grass, bitch?
Is that the good
grass?
What
is Timothy grass? I didn't want to be like, I don't know. It's a really common grass out here, but she was reading me the thing and I have a really strong allergy to Timothy grass.
Oh, not just the regular old grass.
Yeah.
It's got to be that luxury grass.
Yeah. It's like Timothy grass, man. That sounds like a country singer. Oh yeah. So Greg's cousin was in town and they bought us tickets to go see Lily Rose, who is a country singer.
Okay.
She's also a lesbian.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
Really?
It was at Mississippi Studios, which is it used to be a really small venue and then they remodeled. So it's a little bit bigger now, but like I had no idea like who they were or like, I just knew it was like country music. Phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah. So apparently, I don't know how long ago, last year, 2 years ago, they put a song out on TikTok. I think it's called Villain.
Okay.
And it blew up.
Okay.
And then basically now they're just doing
TikTok's
tour.
doing wonderful things for everyone.
So good. The show was amazing. It was I think it was their second show and they were like selling out all these venues, but like, oh my God, so good. And we did a meet and greet and I was like, hey, how's it going? And I kind of knew like she played us music on Spotify and stuff. So I kind of knew, but like wasn't like, oh my God. I wish the meet and greet was after because like we didn't really talk, you know what I mean? So I'm like, hey, how's it going?
And it would have been cool to see the reaction of you being like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was such like, go check them out on Spotify, whatever, all the places. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
I mean, I went and saw Machine Gun Kelly. That was that was pretty great. So the reason why this concert meant so much to me was, long story short, when I moved back from San Diego and broke up with who I thought was going to be my forever person, which This motherfucker might just be like the entire second season. We might just go off on a tangent. And we'll just have 1A, 1B, 2.
Welcome back to our 30-part series of
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
San Diego.
Sorry.
Or also,
Sorry.
we're just like never going to talk about him.
I mean, there's so
You know what I
much
mean? Because
content.
like,
I guess if we're on
because
for
like,
10
fuck
years,
you,
yes.
fuck you. You don't get to listen to yourself on our podcast. But a lot of growth happened.
No, yes. So that's
You know what
why
I mean?
this
So
was,
like,
that's why
I think
this
it's.
was so
I think eventually
monumental.
we'll get to it.
Yeah, that's why this was so monumental for me, was because Machine Gun, when I lived in San Diego before the pandemic, Machine Gun Kelly started his tour in San Diego. And I've mentioned it before. Like, he's just an artist that I just really admire, did a lot for me when I was younger. And he started his tour in San Diego, went all around, and basically ended in Portland.
Okay,
And so I had
okay.
basically begged the artist that I was dating. And I was like, hey, can we please go? I would love to go.
Right.
He totally fucking wrote me off. And he just was like, Concert comes and goes. I was really sad about it.
Right.
We end up splitting up. I move home. And then you actually was very encouraging and helped me buy a ticket, not only for like general admission, but for early admission. So I got to go in early. I was up front. This was like a month, maybe. It was probably a month after I moved back.
Yeah.
Wasn't going to go. Home Slice starts a fight with me like before I fucking went to the concert, like over the phone. I almost didn't go. I went and I had the fucking best time.
Yeah.
Machine Gun Kelly, dear God, if you ever fucking hear this, that show when you came to Portland was fucking so phenomenal. And
Both
he played
times.
the drums. Well, this last time was different.
Okay.
The last time for me was different, but I got really emotional like the day of the concert because it hadn't really hit me full circle like how much better my life is.
Yeah.
Now that, this time around I get to see him. Like before I was dating a guy who devalued me and, it was just really just not a great relationship and just, going to that concert and having so many things to be grateful for. Dating a guy who's super supportive. He's like, yep, I'm going to drop you off, pick you up, whatever you need. It'll be such a cute little thing. I came home from the concert. It was cute because he said he told his people at work that like I came home and I was like drunk and flirty.
Oh, right.
I ate an edible and it was great. I mean, I live maybe city life, man. I live maybe 10 minutes from the Moda Center.
Yeah.
And I probably drank 5 or 6 shots before I went, and it was really cute because my Pete Davidson is very, very lovely. He does not drink and drive. He won't smoke and drive. He's very much, about that life. So when he drops me off, when I go in to scan my ticket, I kind of figured I had some leeway from when the doors open. I'm like trying to do the math in my head, and I scan my ticket, and the guy goes, "Oh, they're already warmed up in there for you." And I laughed, and I was like, "Haha, that's funny. I live 5 minutes from here. I don't want to wait in the line." So I went in. I go to fucking sit down, and he's almost out fucking playing. The Avril Lavigne opened for Machine Gun Kelly. And so I remember texting you and I went, oh shit, Avril Lavigne's on, which means he's next. And so it was a lovely concert and it just was really cool, cool moment. So.
And see, I'm conflicted because I'm good friends with a couple of the guys in Slipknot. And he had that moment where he was at least I'm not a 50-year-old in a fucking mask, which apparently they've all worked through.
I'm sure
but,
they have.
He did that. And I was like, I have to have my alliance with my friends. But yeah, I guess they've since like worked it out, or he said that, he's like, I wished it wouldn't have turned out to be a thing. You're on stage and you're successful and you have feelings. I'm sure you say stuff that's like, you're gonna be like, but
yeah, but this last concert around was good. It was very different. I'm a lace up Machine Gun Kelly. I'm very much like the mixtapes when he first started. But as an artist, it's the same thing that happened with Kid Cudi. A lot of these artists, they go through this evolution. People are like, oh, you weren't your first album.
I mean, and it's the same like with Slipknot. Like I've had people that go like, you tell Corey that I hate his vocals. And I'm like, what? I'm not going to tell my friend, this guy I've known for like 20 fucking years,
bold.
that you random asshole doesn't like his shit. Like, here's the thing. You can continue to make the same music over and over and over. And then it's like, you're staying true to your sound. But is there any growth?
Right. You want to be able to grow. Yes.
Which is totally fine and admirable. But eventually, you're just kind of like, you're going to lose some people because it's the same shit. Also, if you grow and you do too much stuff, people don't like it. So like Daft Punk, they had their last album come out, which I'm huge Daft Punk fan.
Oh, yeah. Oh
and
my gosh, so great.
I did not really like their last album because it was in such a different direction.
Correct.
And yes, there were some songs that were really good, but I, as a diehard fan, kind of wanted the same shit.
Right.
But like at the same time, it's not for me. Their music is, yes, it's for me, but they got to make music that they like. And so, you know what I mean? So it's this weird thing of like, do I change my style and grow as an artist? Do I keep the same style and be else? You know what I mean? Like, and so, you know, as a fans, you know, people want
That's like
everything.
I heard Post Malone. I think Post Malone has a country song.
He's going to do country shit.
Man,
Yeah.
snaps to him because
I mean, he's just great. And like nowadays, you don't have to be in any specific genre. You can put some shit out on YouTube and anybody can listen to it. It's not like before where you had to like go on the, hey, it's KBX9 radio. And we got Post Malone here. And he's like, oh, hey, I'm doing a country album. Hope you like it. You can literally just put it out. It costs no money.
Right.
You put on TuneCore or whatever that pushes shit out and you're like $49. And then they like push it out. Like there's literally nothing. YouTube, nothing. So you can just make whatever you want. Who gives a fuck?
Correct.
And I think as consumers, we should support artists that push the envelope.
Right.
But I have a lot to say on this because I make music. If you are not consistently putting out stuff, it does make it harder for you to just dabble in whatever you want.
It's true.
So if like I was famous music maker and it was 10 years from album to album, and then I wanted to do some experimental shit, it's a little tough because people are like, okay, it's been 10 years. Well, what is it?
Right.
But like Post Malone literally just had an album come out. He had another album come out and he's like,
Lot of
oh shit,
versatility.
here, I can do another album. Same with like Lil Nas X or any of these people.
I mean, so basically it would be like, this would be like the Rihanna theory. She hasn't put out anything in a really long time.
Right.
And I've heard what Rihanna has said is she wants to treat her music like fashion. She wants to be able to like dabble and do all of these different styles and have all this stuff. And she basically said, if you ask me, Rihanna's got a whole album that's fucking done. And she's just waiting on when she wants to launch it, to be honest, because you know she hasn't been not doing music. She's got to be doing music for funsy funds. But at the same time, it's like, she's making music for her. Literally, she's in the studio making music for herself because that's what makes her feel good. Doesn't mean she's releasing it to us.
But also, I think there's a mental health aspect. I think there's a, self-care aspect. When you make an album and you start up that machine, everybody wants you for everything. They want you to do award shows. They want you to go on a tour. They want you to fucking go on all the talk shows in the morning. They want your ass doing the music thing. And I know some people probably just like, yes, that's great for the money, but also like music people don't make a lot of money with album sales. Record companies get a lot of music from album sales. Like I remember a long time ago, TLC, they had their like the waterfalls shit, like they were in the height of their shit. And I remember reading a thing in a newspaper or a magazine, and they were like, we don't make any money off of our CDs or music sales.
It's only touring.
Only touring. And I was like, what the fuck? But when you break it down, it's insane. When you sign a record deal, for the most part, record labels charge you all this money to make the album, to promote the album. And so you're in a negative, and they'll give you an advance. They're like, oh, we're going to give you a $10 million advance. So they like give you that money, but then you have to pay that back.
Yuck.
It's insane. So like, Rihanna's probably like, I don't give a fuck.
Well, you talk about mental health. I wanted to talk about Naomi Osaka, the tennis star, who I want to say, I can't even remember what big event it was, but she got like kicked out or not invited or something because she wouldn't do the press conference. Oh. She refused to do the press conference.
Dang.
And she made a big statement about it. And they're like, look, if they don't want me, that's fine. But my mental health is so much more important. I can't do these tours. I need to it's just, there needs to be more focus on mental health. It's the same thing. Actually, you know what I will say is, I want to say it was Joe Rogan. I'm not the biggest fan of his, to be honest.
Not a huge fan, but every so often he says some shit where I'm like, damn it, I don't hate you as much as I hate you.
Well, I liked Joe Rogan.
Unless you're going to put me on your podcast, Joe Rogan. I remember when I watched Fear Factor. Bitch, you going to put me on your podcast? Not with Alexa. It'll just be us boys.
Yeah, just the boys.
Just us boys. Just
Jesus.
us boys. I don't smoke weed, but I would.
Oh, you could smoke with Joe Rogan
I would
for the first
smoke
time
it,
on his podcast.
and I would just be like, what, bro?
So I know Joe Rogan from like professional fighting.
Oh, yes.
And he's a commentator.
Yep.
And the one thing that Joe Rogan was a huge advocate for was stop interviewing motherfuckers who get knocked out.
Oh, for real.
Someone gets knocked out, lights are out, they're getting up, they're already trying to fight because the natural reaction is you hit the ground, you get up, you keep trying to extend the fight. And then you get a microphone shoved in your face, and then you have all these crazy just ludicrous fucking interviews when really someone basically just got knocked the fuck out and needs to have a fucking water.
Have you ever turned your computer off and you turn it back on and then you're like, do stuff. And it's like, give me a fucking second.
Yeah.
I got to get the Wi-Fi going.
Yes.
Let me get my keyboard and the mouse. Just hold up. Mm-hmm. It's like that. It's like you're basically taking your computer and you're dropping it on the floor and then you're like, do stuff. Mm-hmm. We don't do it a lot for mental health in this country or the planet, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, back in the day, they're like, suck it up, bitch. Ain't nobody crying in this house. You're like, okay, well, I'll just, you know, grow up and beat my family. But like back in the day, like, you know, this is passed down. Mm-hmm. Boys can cry, men can cry, women can cry. Everyone can cry. Mm-hmm. It's okay to hug your male friends. Mm-hmm. It's okay to tell somebody that you're having a bad day. Like, it's okay to take a mental health day. All this shit. Like, you don't owe anybody shit.
Right.
You don't owe your employer shit. Right. Like, if you need mental health days, take it. If you need a therapist, find one. There's a lot of resources. Jobs mostly have a lot of resources. Find a doctor. Find anybody you can talk to. Because mental health is really important.
Yeah.
If you scrape your arm, you visibly see an ouchie. But you can also have internal ouchies in your head that don't heal. You got to put the mental Neosporin on there.
Yeah, and take a nappy.
Take a nap.
Mm-hmm. Our mom always used to say, if you don't look out for yourself, no one else is. You have to, you know, you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully Rihanna have some new music coming out. I just support any artist that wants to do their own shit. And I think we need to kind of reward creativity. Mm-hmm. But it's tough. There's a lot of people doing stuff. And then, you know, artists are kind of beholden to these record companies. And they have to do the albums and they have to fulfill contracts.
Oh, fuck. I mean, you want to talk about that? You can talk about Kesha.
Oh, man. I feel so bad for Kesha.
Yeah. Good God. So if you guys don't know about Kesha, just give a quick little synopsis.
I want to say it was Dr. Luke. Mm-hmm. There was a sexual assault thing. I don't want to quote it because it's been a couple of years. But basically, she said she had been sexually assaulted by her music producer who had made a lot of her hits. And you know, we're not here to say whether the things happened or not, but they basically wouldn't let her out of her contract with the dude, even though she was like, yo, this happened. And they were like, no.
Be better, Sony. Be better.
Well, I don't even know it was them. It was like a court thing. So they basically were like, you can't get out of this. You have to continue to fulfill your contract, which is kind of crazy. But it was one of the first kind of Me Too things. Mm-hmm. We all stood up for Britney Spears. Everyone rallied, you know, around her. But we also forget like Kesha, and there's so many other artists that are struggling where there are
so many artists,
you know, and we need to like kind of help them out and follow these people because you don't hear a lot about Kesha because they're not wanting you to hear a lot about her. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So when they're like, yeah, fuck Kesha because she said all this bad shit and we don't want to pump her shit out. Mm-hmm. But you have to like go and support and buy shirts and buy albums and, you know, check all their stuff out, you know, because it's just kind of shitty. I mean, they're doing well. I follow them on, you know, Instagram and stuff. I see they're like doing stuff, whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's got to be tough when you get into something. I couldn't imagine.
Well, it's hot as fuck. It's very sweaty.
It's so hot. And we have to turn our I have a fan and I have to keep it off because of the mics will pick it up.
Mm-hmm. The mics are so high quality. It'll pick up anything.
We're going to be so thin after this. I feel like one of those, you know, when we were in high school, we used to have people come in with like the trash bag stuff.
Yeah, the sauna suit.
And then which is not great. I've seen people do that and they're like, so you're going to weigh less for like half a day.
Well, you have a new puppy. Do you know how to tell if it's too hot to take your dog outside?
If you go outside and you're like, it's warm.
So what you have to do is if you go outside on the darkest pavement is you put your hand down. And if you can't put your hand down for more than 10 seconds, it's too hot for your little puppy paws. Because concrete gets way fucking hotter than it is outside, especially if it's in direct sunlight. So you have to make sure that you're very, very careful, you know, when you take your dog outside, even outside in the backyard in the grass. We want to make sure that, you know, you're taking care of your pets, especially in the city. I see a lot of people that are out walking their dogs and I'm just like, it's too fucking hot for that right now.
I don't think people really think about that.
No, not at all. But you'll burn your little puppy pads. That's like my Pete
They're cute
Davidson
little
said
puppy
when he
pads.
was when he lived where it was really hot. When he had a dog, he said he would walk barefoot because he was said if it's
Oh.
too hot for my feet, it's too hot for my dog.
That's
what a
true.
good man! What a good man. So just passing awareness. You know, we want to make sure we look out for our little furry friends. Make sure they're you're taking care of them. Get the walks in early.
Yep.
You know, the
Yep.
dog will be okay if it doesn't. Well, hopefully, I can't speak for high functioning
Yeah,
dogs,
yeah.
but try and just try and spread a little awareness and make sure that we care about the little feetsies.
It's true. I mean, it's really hot.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I feel like last year it was really hot and this year's really hot. And like, it's always funny because people talk about like global warming and they're like, it's not a thing. I'm like, fuck, bitch. What the fuck is up with this weather? I love how people are so, okay, human beings have been on this planet thousands of years, we've talked about this before, but like, everybody thinks they know what the fuck is going on with this goddamn weather. Oh, the Earth has menopause. It's going through temp changes. Bitch, you ain't looking at no data. You know what I mean? You ain't at home with a long ass piece of paper going
down the
through.
cord.
You got a fucking hat on. You're like, oh my God, crisis. You're on Twitter or you're on fucking Instagram or you're on fucking YouTube watching people reciting shit to you. And then you're going, oh, I'm smart. And then you're like, bleh, listen to my facts, bleh. Like you ain't doing no research. Stop telling me
You're not
you're
wrong.
doing research. Watching YouTube videos is not fucking research. I'm sorry.
Hate to break it to you.
And like you can put, so here's the thing too. I can put a video on YouTube and be like, they don't want you to know. And if this gets taken down, you know it's the truth. Chocolate contains the poison. And then everyone be like, oh man, you see the chocolate video? And then be like, oh shit, I gotta share it. Oh, it got taken down. You know it's real. Bitch, no, it's not. You can literally make anything and put it on the internet.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And
You can
then
make
like,
fake profiles and catfish people. You
Right.
can do basically anything. Yeah.
and even like, I'll be like, oh shit, I saw something on TikTok. But even then I go like, hey, I saw this shit on TikTok. And like,
Right. You got to give the disclaimer.
I feel
Yes.
like, so I saw something on Elon Musk. This lady put together this wonderful thing about how, he's not who, you know what I mean?
Correct.
He didn't make Tesla. He's not a descendant of Nikola Tesla. He didn't like come up with electric cars. He apparently, from what I understand, he got like bought out enough stock to be a majority. And then he booted everybody off the board. That's what I believe. That I read.
Allegedly.
You know what I mean?
Allegedly.
And so, but people think he's like this guy who's like made all this shit happen. And I'm sure he's done some things,
Yeah.
but he ain't in the back tinkering with knobs and beakers and batteries and shit. You know what I mean?
Making his own loop.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I heard also a thing that apparently he said he hadn't had sex in a while, which is weird because he's got like 85 kids. And did you see the thing about his dad? Oh my God.
No, I just try to remain
It's so gross.
unbothered.
So that his dad, they all have weird names too. It's like EGOT or something. Aragon,
It's too hot for this
Aragon
shit,
Musk.
Ryan. It's too hot for this shit.
he has a baby with his stepdaughter that I guess stepdaughter thing happened when she was 4.
Huh?
And so now she an adult now
And
and
her-
they had a baby. This is the dad, Elon Musk's dad, which again, doesn't really.
Allegedly.
No, this came out and he's like, we're supposed to have babies. Human beings are on the planet to have babies. True. But like, don't be fucking your stepdaughter. That's what Woody Allen did. Yes. Woody Allen was like, he like married his stepdaughter. It's wild. The Woody Allen thing is wild. I don't have enough information I can just rattle off to you right now about the Woody Allen thing, but it's like insane. It's legit insane. And then everyone in Hollywood's like, yes, Woody Allen, yes. And it's like, ugh, I don't know about
Yikes.
that.
That's a little uncomfy.
But yeah, it's just gross. And then Elon Musk's got like, he'd be like, oh, I fucked the CEO or I fucked this person. Kids.
Allegedly.
No, this is like, I've seen it in like the internet.
It's sweaty.
So it's just weird. But everyone is like, oh, Elon Musk, oh, he's so great. And I'm like, oh man, I don't know. I haven't met him.
Well, I would think that if we're on the topic of concerts, I think going to a concert on a date is so great. Probably not the first date, maybe not necessarily second date, but like taking a date to a concert, whether it's an artist you both love or like, for instance, I took a date who actually turned out to be a boyfriend, a really shitty boyfriend at that, in case that motherfucker is listening. I want to clarify. I took a date to Tech Nine when he came to Portland. I've seen Tech Nine maybe 5 times. A lot in Portland, once in Eugene. He loves Portland. He plays at the Roseland. Yeah. The Roseland's one of my favorite theaters in Portland. If you can come to Portland and you are 21 years and older and you can go upstairs at the if you can go upstairs at the Roseland, you can get far on the left or far on the right and literally be right above the performer. Like they can basically reach up and you can Sistine Chapel's fucking touch. That's how close you are at the fucking Roseland.
Yeah.
That's the right reference, right? The finger one?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Is
bitch.
it?
Yes, bitch. Don't look at me like I'm fucking wrong.
It's not that close.
I'm trying to sound cultured here, okay? Yeah. Well traveled.
Yeah.
And so I remember going on a date. It was super cool. It was a really great concert. And this boyfriend was like really insecure. And I remember we were dancing and we had a lovely time. And I'm strategic about where we are at concerts because, you're trying to meet them or see them. Right, and so Tech Nine walks out and he's in the full get up, face painted red shirt. And I can see him on the side because the stage is here. And you can see basically backstage. And they have like a partition, but that doesn't do anything. And so I see him and I like wave to him. And he points at me, and I fucking do like,
moi?
Me? And then I'm tapping the guy I'm dating, and I'm like, look, he's right there, and he's like waving at me, and he's trying to wave me down. And I'm like, oh no, motherfucker. I can start feeling steam coming out of his ears.
He's trying to get you to go.
Yep, he's trying to get me to come down the stairs. I just was like, oh no. I was like, no. I was like, yes, absolutely, yes, but like, no. No. So he performs, he plays with Chris Calico, everything was great. Tech Nine is known for certain songs. He's got a couple. He's got Riot Maker, where he sings a song about this girl who basically got thrown off a balcony or fell off of a balcony before he even came out, and she tried to sue him for $100,000.
Oh shit.
It's so he writes all these crazy songs, right?
Wait, this like really happened?
Yes, this really happened. He wrote a song about it. It's crazy. Tech Nine has a song called Areola.
Oh yeah.
And it's it's coming because I haven't seen him obviously recently. I would love to see him again. He is so fantastic. But when the song is coming because girls start getting up on shoulders in the concert hall. And so he sings. Yeah. And so basically he is, and just the sheer power this one man has over all these titties in the fucking concert hall.
Right.
So I'm dancing and we're just having a great time. The song's happening. And we're like almost in the front up on the balcony. And he starts singing the song and he walks over and he's pointing at me, trying to get me to fucking show my titties. And it was I just remember laughing and I was like, and I kept going like this.
I couldn't possibly.
I kept going like this. And then it was funny because I genuinely pointed to the girl standing behind me and she was in a red dress and she pulled the dress down and showed her little titties. And like, I'll never fucking forget that. And so I remember like just that interaction, and the guy I was dating was pressed.
Oh, yeah.
The whole fucking night. Yeah, he was pressed the whole night. And
he would be pressed.
He would be pressed.
Yeah,
but, and it was just fun and light. And, he was like, oh, and I made a comment about, he was like, what would you have done if he asked you to go back to the tour bus? And I said, I probably would politely decline. I'd ask for an autograph, but I'd politely decline because being a cute girl, a majority of the time, if you're getting invited to the tour bus, it's not to like collab on a song. You're getting invited back to the tour bus.
You're going to collab on a 3-way.
Yes, you're going to get fucked or have to do a blowjob or what the fuck ever. Right. I'm going to get my mouth fucked. And it's just like, eh. So I made that comment. And then I could never go to a concert without that boyfriend when we dated. Because he just was like, are you going to get invited to that bus? And you're going to wait after. It just was like, insecurity is a bitch. Insecurity is really a bitch. So it's really nice to be with a partner who trusts me. And like I went to Machine Gun Kelly and came home and he was there and he was just as stoned as I was when I got, actually you got me. You picked me up.
Oh yeah, I did pick you up.
Make sure you're available to your friends if they need a sober ride home because that was fucked up.
That's how I met Slipknot. We met, oh man, it was right after 9/11. So what, 2001?
Long time ago.
But I crocheted them all hats. So I crocheted. I used to crochet a lot. But they're like insane. Like at the time, I think they had their first album. They only had like the one album out. And like they had videos and they were lighting themselves on fire and shit. And their music is great. It's like very, aggressive, whatever. And I remember I watched this video and I was just like, these are the people that I like who are lighting themselves on fire. And like, they're just insane. There's 9 of them. They're just insane. Their music was great. They helped me out through tough times. And we went to see them. I was like, okay, I need to make something to give them.
And memorable.
I just wanted to give them something where they would go like, oh my God, that guy who gave us the things. Because they meet so many people.
Correct.
And so I had crocheted them all hats. And there's 9 of them. So I tried to color coordinate them what I thought would be the colors that they liked based off, because they all wore coveralls and masks. So I literally have no idea what they look like at all. I was like, let me just guess the colors. And then we waited behind in the loading dock. We were in Oklahoma at the time. Waited at the loading dock. And then all of a sudden, all the security like left like an hour after the show. And we could see everybody in with the buses hanging out. And so Kevin and I were like, well, let's just fucking go. So we just walk in. There's like 8 of us.
Walking like you own the place.
We just walked in, and then Sid, she's one of my best friends now. I recognized he's got flame tattoos on his wrists. And he was talking to some people, and I was like, oh my God, that's Sid. So I like pulled out all the hats, and I was like, when he got done, I was like, hey man, I made these for you guys. And he was just like, oh my God, no one's ever made us anything before. And so we just chatted.
So special.
It was really, really cute. And then we'd end up meeting Sean, who's wears a clown mask. And we ended up meeting a bunch of them. But they all kind of got their hats. And apparently, they said I was a genius because I picked everybody's favorite colors. Again, based off of, I saw like their Rolling Stone magazine. Right. And I was like, well, he might like green or whatever.
You're very intuitive.
But then, we ended up being really good friends with Clown. And we just kind of kept in touch. And then
that was fucking 20 years ago, bitch.
Yeah, it's crazy,
Jesus.
Crazy. I've done a lot of like video work for them and logo work for them. And like, it's just weird. It's like that one thing, we could have easily been like, let's not do it. But I was like, nah, fuck this. We're going to go back there. And
concerts probably were some of my coolest memories being younger. Cause we would go, we would camp out. Right. We would go, we'd be the first ones in line. General admission is the way to go. If you can score general admission.
But it's tough now because like a lot of artists want to go talk to fans, but I'll say COVID right now, but Dimebag Darrell, he got shot as a guitar player, Pantera, but somebody had like, I think he like ended up going on their bus and then he ended up going on stage. And actually, I think he shot him on stage. But like a lot of weird shit happened in the last, 20 years where it's tough now. Right. Where they don't just go out and they're like, hey, everybody by the bus, what's going on? Because it's just not the best. But yeah, we got really lucky. But yeah, it was really cool. We met a lot of different people after shows. And then because Slipknot's been like so popular, we like rerun into people that we've met at different shows. And it's like really neat.
The best advice if you're going to a concert is if you're trying to meet someone, go with no expectation. Right. Because honestly, I have met some of my favorite people, catching them going from like sound check to back to the bus or whatever. So just having patience and understanding that, your artists probably really want to fucking meet you and shake hands with you and talk and hang out and have those little moments, but it doesn't always happen that way.
Also, like you're in their house, because they're like at their bus, sleeping at the venue. Correct. And so like, they're like, hey, I got to go take a shit inside. And you're like, ah, and they're like, Meanwhile, they got a turd queued up. You know what I mean? So like, you know what I mean? So like, and you also like, we're talking about mental health and like, I know I saw a thing where like these Broadway people were getting upset that they didn't spend time after the shows and like, they weren't saying hi to everybody who was waiting. And then for performers and artists, like you have to respect their time. Yes, you're a fan, you're paying for your ticket, but also like sometimes people just don't have time or don't have the mental capacity to like come out and sign and talk, when like maybe they're exhausted, maybe they're getting over being sick.
You just got to respect people's personal space.
That's true. Yeah, artists don't really owe you anything, but they do owe you everything. But also, like, I don't know, we just have to.
But it's been some of the lowest expectations where I've had the coolest, coolest time meeting people. Again, Raja Gemini,
Oh, yeah.
Can't say enough great things. Meeting her backstage and smoking and laughing and having Raja ask me for my number. I just was like, you got me fucked up. Like, this is the coolest. I went home and I remember going upstairs and I kissed my boyfriend on the cheek who was sleeping in bed. And I was like, I got to go downstairs and fucking unwind. And I went downstairs and I think I sat on my couch with no music, no TV. And I just fucking sat there like this for like 2 hours. And I just was like, that was the coolest thing I had ever done.
Yeah, it's weird. Sometimes you get lucky. We got pretty lucky. But also I'm like a good person, you know. I don't want anything from people, you know, when I meet them. I just want to say hi, I like your music, shit like that. Like I'm not like trying to like get anything out of anybody.
Course.
I'm not like, yes, I made hats.
Yeah, you're
but
not
more
like, hey, follow me back on Instagram.
Right. And like, yeah, I'm just, it's, you know, I think you just got to treat people with respect.
I think it's just having that moment, just being able to tell someone, you know, hey, you helped me through a really tough time, you know?
Well, and it's also like Seinfeld people. I would love to meet Jerry Seinfeld, Julia Dreyfus. But like every time people meet them, they go, oh my God, let me tell you my favorite Seinfeld moment. You know what I mean? And so like for me, when I met them, I would love to be like, oh my God, my favorite episode is this.
Yes. And
you know
like,
what I mean?
How many times have you heard
but
that?
But like, I'm sure they hear it all the time, and maybe not so much these days.
Don't go for the obvious joke.
But also, I don't know, when you helped me out through a tough time, why would you not want to hear that? Even if it's over and over and over, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So, well, we learned a lot today. We learned a lot about...
We learned that it gets really fucking hot in a basement.
It's hot in my basement. I don't understand why, because most of this basement is underground.
We got a lot of beauty lights.
Yeah.
A lot of lights on this face.
It's hot in Portland, and I'll listen to this in the wintertime when I wish it was warmer. And
it'll be a gentle reminder.
Yes.
It's
fucking
hot. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. I had to buy expensive popsicles at the store today because the cheap ones were gone.
Yeah. You know, we are being very hemispherist right now because we're not really respecting anybody in the Southern Hemisphere. You know what I mean? Because what if you were in Australia right now and it's fucking cold? We're not being very respectful. We are the center of the planet.
We did say.
In America.
Bitch.
To ourselves.
Be careful when how you saying that too loud.
We did say what?
I was going to say, we did say in the beginning, you did say it was hot here in Portland, Oregon.
I did say it was hot in Portland,
It's hot in the gorge.
But also, I think we should respect anybody living in Antarctica right now.
Oh, I hope we have listeners in Antarctica.
Yeah.
Write in, let us know.
To all the penguins.
Yes. The penguins with the purple icon on their cell phones.
Yep. Any penguins listening right now, hi. What's it like to eat fish? Oh, man, they got to carry their babies on their feet.
Really?
Yeah. Have you ever watched Planet Earth?
You know what?
Planet Earth is great, but
the
penguins got to carry the egg.
To Antarctica. No, bitch, we got to get out of here.
I like talking about Antarctica because it's cold,
and it makes you feel better. I mean, we do have our Baja Blast. There's no ice. There's no serotonin millennial.
Yeah.
There's no ice. I'm sorry, it's hot.
Well, yeah, we learned a lot about concerts. What else did we talk about?
Not much.
We didn't talk about a lot. We are also very hot. And if you're watching this, if you watch the YouTube and you like go through it very fast, you can see us just getting sweatier and sweatier and sweatier.
It's a little bit of a natural highlight you're catching now.
Too bad we don't have like a boxing weigh-in we have to do after this, bitch. You know what I mean?
I fucking can't with him.
Like this. You got to do your like...
Can that be the icon for this episode?
Oh my God.
All right, get me the fuck out of this hot ass basement. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
See you next week. Oh, my butt cheeks are sweaty. Oh, do you have to clap?
Oh, yes. Ooh.
That was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one.